Number 1. Let go of the guilt you don't deserve. One of the deepest wounds that can form between a parent and a grown child is silence. And for many parents, that silence echoes with questions. Did I raise them wrong? Maybe I said something I didn't realize hurt them. Was I too strict or not strict enough? But the truth is often far more complicated and not as personal as we fear. Sometimes your adult children are simply drowning in their own struggles. They may be dealing with work stress, marriage tension, parenting chaos, or even their own unresolved childhood emotions they haven't learned to process. And while it's possible you made mistakes, as every parent does, holding on to guilt doesn't heal anyone. It only weighs you down. You don't have to carry every silence like a scar. You can acknowledge the past without punishing yourself for it. Letting go of guilt is not the same as letting go of love. It's saying, I did my best with what I knew then. I still love them, but I will no longer carry pain I didn't earn. Remember how you forgave them when they broke things as kids? How you hugged them when they failed, or stumbled, or shouted at you. Now it's your turn. Offer that same grace to yourself. You are still deserving of peace. Number 2, shift from expectation to invitation. Here's something we often forget. Expectations are invisible weights. You wait by the phone for that birthday call. You make a favorite meal and no one shows up. You text something heartfelt and get only a thumbs up in return. It stings because expectation always carries a hidden hope. Maybe this time they'll show up, but hope doesn't have to come with pain. You can shift from expectation to invitation, a softer, gentler path. Instead of, they should call me every week. Try, I'll send them a war message just because I love them. Something like, saw an old photo of you from when you were 6. You had the biggest smile. It made my day. Or, if you're free next weekend, I'd love to share a cup of tea. No pressure. When you shift into invitation, you protect your heart. You open the door, but you don't stand there freezing in the cold. You show love without giving it conditions. And when love is offered freely, it's more likely to return. Number 3, rebuild your circle, even if it's small. It's a hard realization. Sometimes, family isn't where connection lives anymore. And that's okay, because after 70, we begin to discover a new kind of family, the one we choose, the one that chooses us back. You might find it in a book club, a local community center, a garden group, or simply over morning walks at the park. You don't need a dozen people. You only need a few who see you. Nancy, a 74-year-old widow from Bristol, joined a morning walking group almost by accident. She didn't speak much at first, but one day, someone remembered her birthday. Another day, they saved her a spot on the bench. Soon, she found herself laughing again, listening, being listened to. They weren't her blood relatives, but they became her people. Building a circle in your later years isn't about replacing your children. It's about honoring your need for human warmth, conversation, and belonging. It's about saying, I still matter. My story isn't over. Number 4, be open, but don't chase. There's something beautiful, almost noble, about staying open-hearted, even after hurt. But chasing after someone who continues to turn away can slowly break your spirit. Tom, the retired teacher from Oregon, shared something profound. I spent 5 years trying to win back my son's attention. Emails, gifts, even guilt. And the more I tried, the more silent he became. Eventually, Tom sat down and wrote just one last note. My door is always open. I love you. I'm here when you're ready. Then he did something radical. He started living again. He planted flowers. He joined a choir. He went fishing alone and found peace in the quiet. 3 years later, his son showed up, not because Tom begged, but because Tom had become rooted, grounded. Oh, love without pressure is far more powerful than love tangled in fear. Being open means your heart is still available, but not at the cost of your joy, not at the cost of your dignity. Number 5, nurture joy outside of family. Joy is not a gift others give you. It's something you grow, even in the shade, even when you feel forgotten. You can find it in music or morning sunlight on your hands. in baking a pie for a neighbor, in finally reading that book you always meant to, in learning to paint birds or growing tomatoes, or singing to yourself as you fold the laundry. Harriet, a grandmother from Sydney, knew this. She began a small joy journal at age 76. Every night before bed, she wrote down 3 simple things: the warmth of her cat curled up beside her, the stranger who complimented her scarf, the way the sunset looked through the kitchen window. Some nights were harder than others, but the journal helped her look for beauty. And the more she looked, the more she saw. Don't wait for joy to knock on your door. Open the window, let it drift in. Even if it's just a breeze or a bird song, you deserve to feel alive. Number 6, meet Tom, a story of letting go and finding peace. Let's return to Tom. After losing his wife, and with grown children who rarely visited, he felt more alone than ever. There were mornings he didn't even want to get out of bed. But something in him whispered, there's still more for you. So he started small, volunteering at a local school, helping children with reading. He planted a garden, just a few carrots, some basil. He joined a singing group at the community center, and each step gave him back a piece of himself. He laughed again. He made new friends. He even started writing poetry, something he hadn't done since college. And then one night, while performing at a small concert, he looked around and thought, even if they never come back, I have found something beautiful again. Eventually, his son returned. But Tom didn't need that to feel whole. He had built a life rooted in self-worth, purpose, and peace. And that's what we all deserve. If your grown children are distant, if their silence hurts, know this: you are not broken. You are not forgotten. You are still here, still capable of growing, still capable of feeling love, and giving it freely. You can choose to grow in a new direction, toward peace, toward self-kindness, toward a life filled with meaning, whether or not they see it. So tell me, what part of today's message touched your heart most? Was it Tom's quiet courage, Nancy's walking group, Harriet's joy journal? Leave a comment and share your story. Let this channel be part of your circle. And if you know someone quietly hurting like you once did, share this with them. It could be the hug they didn't know they needed. Remember to like, subscribe, and come back. We're here every week just for you, because you're not alone, and you are still deeply, wonderfully loved